Hello, my name is Fox 978, and I'm at Fox, and this is episode 6 of My Hero Academia Vigilantes, which I saw this like weeks ago, so when like it first came out. I've been backed up. I've done a lot of things. So this is probably one of, if not like one of my main favorite episodes of just and scenes of like My Hero Academia as a whole, and like okay, there's only so many times where like I'll watch or something and I'm just like, fuck yeah, and I'm just like it gets me pumped, and it's this with during the last war of My Hero Academia, where spoilers for that one, where you see La Brava Papa be like, oh shit, and then you see Gentle and you're like, oh shit, and then Sugar Rock is about to touch the ground and Lady Against Bullet shoot through his hand, you're like, oh shit, like you just get hyped and I'm like, oh shit, I love that shit. Gurren Lagann has a kind of similar set thing with spoilers, but a certain character who died returns at a critical point, and it's like, yeah, and it makes you tear up. You're like, yeah, this has one of those scenes. That one is more of emotional, but anyway, this one has one of those scenes where pretty much just the setup, and then we get to that. What is it? Stendhal, which spoilers is Stain, which. Why on earth would you show their name in the title, in the subs? Like, I really even think, I wonder that also on this. Like, mind you, I watched it in English, but I put on the subtitles just because. And mind you, I went in knowing, yeah, that Stendhal is Stain. I have the manga. I have the comics. So, like, I get that, but also, like, it's been a minute. I'm like, I think he's Stain. And then it's like, Stendhal, Stain, parentheses. I'm like, wow, that's gotta suck for anyone who went into this almost blind, just watching the subs, because, you know, people like to badmouth the English dubs, and then just Stendhal, Stain. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, okay. Anyways, so, Stendhal is working with the Queen Bee, which... He's like, Stendhal is the mask. Without the mask, I'm just me. And we never see his face because we're never going to see Stain without it, with his nose. So Stendhal is working with Queen Bee, and he even tells the Queen Bee, like, if you eventually I'll come for you too, but right now, this is a means to an end, to take out the villainy of this city. And also I feel like Stain is probably like one of the best examples of like why Batman shouldn't kill. And I know this is like saying right now, like, there's 3 different Batman in this universe, but I mean that in a sense of like, yeah, this shows a great reason for it, because he very much has a very Batman-esque thing, which also it is really funny too, where the opening for this is the mafia of like superpowered, like, we're the mafia, we're not gonna let heroes take us down, we have honor and all this shit. And then Stendhal comes in to fight them, and what's really funny is I just, like, a month ago, I think, I just saw the Justice League Yakuza. And I completely forgot that there's a Japanese Yakuza in this. Or Justice League, not Japanese Yakuza, Justice League Yakuza. Which, it's really funny that it's in this. And, like, it's 100% the Justice League. Like, let me see here. Man, where was it? I'm trying to see where, if I just type in Yakuza. I'm trying to find my notes. Okay, is it? Yeah. Oh yeah, Yakuza. Yeah, because there's actually I should probably look for the book that has it. But the Yakuza Avengers, where you have J.S. Litt, I guess, who's supposed to be like their Captain America. You have like he's supposed to be the Captain America with his shield. I'm not sure what his quirk is exactly. Looking at it, then you have one dude who can literally create like an Iron Man armor over himself. You have another guy who gets really angry and turns purple and starts beating the shit out of people. You have another guy who's like a construction worker, but he has a hammer that's like that channels lightning. And then Stendhal freezes them all and kills them. But then you have straight, like, the Winter Soldier pops in along with Hawkeye and Black Widow. And I'm just like, oh shit! That was great. But anyway, so that's when Stendhal says, like, yo, this is just a means to an end outcome for you, whatever. And then pretty much Queen Bee finds Mr. Spiky Guy, who's kind of another Wolverine one, but not the Wolverine Jotaro version. And Queen Bee goes to him and goes, hey, I got more boosts for you. And like he's like pretty much off this. He's like, I'm not taking that shit again. Stay the hell away from me. He even takes the things and smash. Well, I don't think he smashed them just yet, but pretty much Queen Bee goes to warn him, saying like, you know, that evil Stendhal's coming to kill you and your friends. You better fight back. And he's like, yeah, I'm not doing that with your shit. Throws on the ground, smashes it. And Stendhal goes, all right, well, it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to kill him anyways. And Stendhal just steps out from behind her. He's like, oh, shit. He's ready to fight. Killer Bee still injects him with the bee stuff. Making Spiky Guy go more porcupine. And then I'm trying to think. And then the Crawler comes in. He's like, oh no, he's back on his things. Come on, Stendhal, let's fight. And then he sees Stendhal literally slicing him. He's like, oh no, Stendhal's going to try to kill him. Trips Stendhal, grabs Mr. Spiky Dude, and they pretty much try to get away, but Stendhal cuts Crawler, licks the blood, paralyzes both. Well, he paralyzes the big Spiky Guy beforehand, and then he's paralyzed Crawler. They're on the ground. Stendhal goes, you're evil, or whatever, and no one will notice you're gone. And then, just from out of the shadows, fucking comes Knuckle Duster, and BAM! Slams out, he's like, oh, notice! And he stands ready to fight. And, he pretty much, I can't remember if he told Stendhal to step down, to step back or whatever, but he does throw a line over in front of him, and he tells him everything. He says, if you get into my range, I'm going to beat the shit. Like, here's a line. This is the line right in front of me. You cross this line, you're going to be in my range, and I'm going to beat the shit out of you. Stendhal's like, what is this? Like, you can't do, like, no, a hero, like Stendhal's like, oh shit, yeah, he's right. I know if I get close to him, he's going to beat the shit out of me. He's like, I can't cross that line. And then Stendhal looks like he's about to back away, but then he starts running forward, and he's like, and he starts running forward, and he's like, and he says a line, and it's the line plus the action that makes this, I want to say, probably one of my new favorite, like, iconic superhero lines, tied with one of the best Spider-Man line, and the other one that is probably like my number one favorite, which is what I would say I would base heroes off of whenever I write them, or how I would kind of say a hero is. And no, it's not with great power comes great responsibility. Not that, because Spider-Man 2, the Raimi movie, kind of ruined that. No, what's the best line is in the first Amazing Spider-Man movie. Yes. And it's when Gwen tells Peter, it's something along the lines of, after he gets the liver-looting shit kicked out of him by Flash while protecting this one kid, and she tells him, that was brave. Stupid, but brave. Something along those lines. That is what I would say is one of the best lines for a hero. They're stupid. It's probably very stupid to throw yourself in the way to getting hurt. to getting hurt for someone else in a sense. But that's what a hero does. They run towards the danger. They go to help someone. Even if it goes against their own, even if it goes against, them trying to be alive. That's what I would base a hero off of. That's also why I'm wearing the shirt. This is Miles, but you get it. That's what I would base a hero off of. I love this too, because when Stendhal goes, a hero won't wait. A hero will cross that line. And as soon as he says that, Knuckle Duster steps over that line to then put a jab straight into the dude's face, breaking his nose. And Stendhal's like, what the fuck? And Carlos like, what the fuck? And everyone's like, what the fuck? He falls back, and Carlos like, Master, you told him not to cross that line. And he's like, well, yeah. Didn't say I would. Didn't say I couldn't. And I'm like, fuck yeah, that's cool. Like, that is the most superhero thing possible. Like, I don't need God. Like, that alone, I think, fits it so well. It's like, like Stendhal said, there's a line to cross. And a hero will step over that line. Even when that hero kind of sets that line himself a little. Mind you, that's not saying Batman should kill. That's not what I'm going with that. Because you could say, like, well, Batman set a line that he wouldn't kill. Not so much along those lines, but, like, if anything, the new, I haven't watched the trailer, but from what I hear, pretty much, there is kind of a similar thing with Superman in the newer trailer, where, like, Lois says, like, you can't do that. That's in, another country. That's, like, diplomatic things. And Clark's like, the fuck does that matter? Someone was in trouble. I need to help them. Like, it doesn't, like, that's the thing. That's such a hero thing. That hero line. I love that. Because he's like, yeah, I see someone, he knew Stain was going to step over that line. He also knew Stain would eventually try to get into a fight. So, yeah. He stepped over the line himself to protect. Like, in a sense, the line wasn't the line. Knuckle Duster was. Knuckle Duster was the line himself. And Stain was never going to get past him. No matter what. Even if he drew a line in the sand, Knuckle Duster would step over that line to make sure he protects everyone. I love that shit. That was cool. That was really badass. I love that. And then pretty much Knuckle Duster brings up saying like, oh, there's all these guys who as soon as they put on the mask, they think they're someone else. They're false heroes. That like, that's what they think. Like, yeah, and the other ones, they just need that mask ripped off before they show who they really are. And then that kind of clicked something in Stain's brain, and Stain was like, wait, I shouldn't be killing villains. They're not the problem. The problem is false heroes. Which, then Stain runs off. And then eventually he goes back to his apartment. Bee Lady's there. He throws a knife in Bee Lady's eye, but it gets protected by the bees inside it. But we see it later, like she pulls out and there's like purple honey or goop coming out of it. Does she have honey in her brain? And Stain takes the knife and just chops off his nose as he goes, my face will be the mask now. I will be a stain upon this world. Or something like that. Pretty much setting up that, like, Knuckle Duster is kind of what set him down this path. Which, on one hand, I wouldn't say it makes every death on Knuckle Duster's fault, but it does set him down that. It does set Stain down that path, which then I remember later on I saw the clip of when Stain sees All Might at the All Might statue and pretty much reignites All Might's faith a little bit. And it's like, technically speaking, that then also is Knuckle Duster, because Stain wouldn't have become Stain, or any of this wouldn't have happened without Knuckle Duster. So it's a sense showing kind of how, even in Vigilantes, it kind of bled into My Hero a bit with that, like the events, and I'm like, that's sick. That's cool. I like that. But yeah, that was badass. I like that a lot. And also, Bee Lady's obviously still alive. And yeah, Knuckle Duster is so freaking cool. I love that. Like, Like, it's funny because it's Stain saying, like, a hero will step over that line. And he stepped over that line and beat the shit out of him. He beat the shit out of Stain. I'm like, yep. Hell yeah, I like that. That was cool. That was so badass. I think there's like 2 new episodes, so I gotta watch those. But, oh my god, that was so cool. I loved that so much. And just when Dr. Duster came and he's like, oh, I am here. God. I'm like, hell yeah. I want more of that. Like, that. I really do love My Hero Academia. It is really fun. The one with Deku and all that stuff. That is really fun. But it is also like, oh, this is what you guys will be doing when you're when you're a full-fledged graduated hero. Vigilantes is more along the lines of this. You are a full-fledged hero right off the gate, even if like you're not legal. And I think it's also one of the reasons why, like, obviously it's a little bit of like the darker tone of Deku, and it's when Deku's also using all his powers and stuff. But even then, it's not even that dark. People say like, oh, it's like Deku. It's like Deku's black suit arc. Which one? The black suit doesn't actually corrupt Peter. Sorry for non-comic fans. The black suit Venom does not corrupt Peter. That's all just Peter being a dick. 2. Deku, like, I was watching, I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to see how dark Deku gets hearing all this stuff, and it's like, he's not even that dark. Like, yeah, the darkest thing is he's sad, and he wants to, and he just keeps on fighting to help others, even if it tears him apart. That is one of the reasons why I love the Dark Deku arc. And also because it is the most superhero thing possible. He just comes out of nowhere, fights villains, and like throws them, knocks them out, has them locked up, and then heads off again to keep on fighting. That's why I love this arc, and that's also what I feel like all of Vigilante kind of is. Like, yeah, Crawler isn't as strong as Deku, or any of the characters are, but like, even then, it still has that feeling of, yeah, there's almost a new villain. Yeah, there's a villain over the entire series. Like this is all leading into like one for all for one and all that stuff. But it's still like the heroes are out there on their own, are out there actually fighting bad guys, stuff like that. It's not just like, oh, here's a mock hero test. Here's it. And that's not a knock against My Hero, because the whole thing is setting up how this world works, and also, how Deku becomes an actual hero on all legal routes. But then this is like just showing how it actually is. Anyway, it was fun. I like this a lot. Tell me what you guys think, comments below. Thanks for watching. Check out my videos. Hopefully you enjoy this. This is awesome. I love this episode so much. I gotta watch the other 2. But thanks for watching. And also, I think at this point is about where I last left off on the comics, on the manga. So all the rest of it should be pretty much new to me. But thanks for watching. Check out videos, and we will see you later. God, I can't wait. This is gonna be awesome. I wonder if Mirko will make an appearance at some point also. All Might has him a few times, and Deku was supposed to, I think, in the first episode, but we never see him. Though we did see his mom, so.